The Ultimate Iron Man, the hardest and most restricted game mode in old school RuneScape. No banking or trading other players. And after claiming the world record for fastest maxscape on a main account, I decided to step it up and speedrun max total on an Ultimate Iron Man. Just me and my inventory in a race against the clock. And the goal? 99 in all skills before the timer hits 2000 hours. This is the Ultimate Iron Man maxscape speedrun any percent. Hey, what's going on everyone? It's been a little while since the last one, so I hope you guys have been doing alright. I've been busy gaming the past few weeks at least. But to refresh your memory a bit, in that last episode we worked on 69 Slayer to knock out a quest requirement and to train up the melee skills, then did some pest control for Full Void. Prepped for the Sins of the Father boss fight. Unfortunately it took us 2 tries, but in the end we now have Darkmire unlocked, and with that comes... Yep, that's right, some Hallowed Sepulchre action. And I wanted to reuse the little intro thing I made during the main maxscape speedrun, and shout out to those who caught the Monster Hunter reference, but sadly this time we can't really do Sep Craft Bake Fletching Bew Pie, but fletching alone is possible, and making broad arrows is the best way for any Iron Man to train fletching. So before I went here I bought a good amount of arrow shafts and feathers, and this is the place where it needs to happen for fletching, because I cannot really do it anywhere else efficiently. At first I had planned to do 99 agility right away, but since I'm already doing fishing late into the account because I want to get the best potions for Barbor, and also after the quest XP reward changes, there's like 400k agility XP to gain just from doing those late game quests. So I changed my plans to do Sepulchre until 1 adamant bolt drop. And why Eddy bolts? Well, I can make ruby and diamond bolts with those, and that should allow me to defeat some quest bosses. But at the moment, I only have access to floor 1, and looting there is pretty bad, so I'm just gonna run it while fletching and do some elks. And that brings me to my next goal actually, 77 magic. And this was kinda an oversight that I stopped training mage at like 72-ish, but I need 77 for super glass make. So I used the last bit of GP I had to buy 4000 nature runes and started elking some air runes, because that is just kind of the best thing I had to elk. But yeah, it's pretty expensive right now. Also gonna make myself a mithril grapple for looting the floor 2 obstacle. It's actually not that good to loot this one, but I kind of want to get my Eddy bolts as soon as possible so I can get more quest XP like early on. Now that I am 62 agility, I can do floor 2. And at first I was just running it normal for some XP, because yeah, looting here isn't optimal and I ideally loot on floor 3 only, but I was feeling lucky, so I'm gonna give it a couple shots to loot here. Managed to get over the thing in one go, that is always nice. And let's see what the first item is. Of course we get poisoned first. Only got some coins, not what I was looking for. And this is why you shouldn't loot the grapple obstacle without the hallowed grapple. At least I got some death runes, that is some better elks than feathers. Up to 70 agility, but still no Eddy bolts. And the way how these chests work with giving loot is as follows. There are 3 different tiers of loot tables, mid, low and high, and the Eddy bolts are on the mid table for a 1 in 10 rate. So first I have to roll the 60% on floor 2 and then the 1 in 10 on the table to get the Eddy bolts. And in total that's like a 1 in 18, I'm pretty sure. So you can see why floor 1 was pretty bad to loot, since the mid tier table is only 35% chance from them. But we move on. On the final floor 2 lap before level 72, looted around 20 times, I think, so right around the drop rate right now. And also finished up 77 magic a bit earlier, so I hope we can get those Eddy bolts quickly on floor 3. And on this floor there are 3 different chests. First, another grapple obstacle, which is accessible from both sides, but I will be skipping this one for now until I have the Hallowed grapple. And then we have a portal one on the good side, very quick one. So going to do this for the marks for the grapple. And then on the bad side there's a prayer barrier, but that one is kind of useless since it's not worth for me killing vampires for the vampire dust. About to loot my first floor 3 coffin, and at the moment I'm at 58 marks, and all the tools in the shop are 100 marks each, so hopefully I can get the bolts before or around the same time I hit 100 marks. And the first one, no bolts, but some herblore XP. Okay, yeah, I didn't get it before 100 marks. I did get some stupid mithril bolts though, but that is kind of useless. So I'm gonna buy the Hallowed grapple now to speed up the looting, since now I can do the grapple obstacle as well on floor 3. A whole agility level later and around 60 chests, some eddy bolts did slid into my inventory. Also nearly got the maximum amount, which is good, because if it was close to the minimum amount, which is 50, I might have to stay for another drop. However, I am nearly halfway done until the next item from the shop, so I'm going to finish the 100 marks off and then leave Sepulchre for now. Finished up the last marks and buying the Hallowed Focus. And for those that don't know what these items are, they pretty much just have a 100% success rate for the obstacles in Sepulchre. And it's also a very nice UIM quality of life that you can just store the items at the NPC in the lobby. But now that I'm stopping Sepulchre, I need to make GP still to afford construction later. And since the Father does not only unlock Sepulchre, but it also gives access to the True Blood altar. And this altar is also accessible via Guardians of the Rift. And I already completed the other quests like Troll Stronghold and What Lies Below for the Law and Chaos altar. But I'm still missing Morning's End Part 2 for Dead Runes. So my new plan is to rush, well, can't really say rush since it's like 270 hours, almost like 300 hours in. But I'm going to go for a 99 runecraft at Guardians of the Rift in the near future. So to unlock Dead Runes, I pretty much need to do the whole Elf questline. Starting with Regicide. This was much better now that I'm 73 agility. Followed up by Roving Elves. And I had to death pile for the Moss Giant part, which I heavily overprepped for. This one was really easy. And immediately after completing that one, I start Morning's End Part 1. And I almost missed one sheep at the sheep shooting part, but this quest is actually pretty easy and some nice thieving XP as a reward. And after death piling for Rowing Elves, I made sure to keep the Catalytic Talisman that I got from 66 Runecraft at Guardians of the Rift out of the looting bag for Morning's End Part 2. But this quest is rough, man, on Ultimate Iron Man. The handholds were less of an issue than I anticipated it, to be honest, but yeah, I only fell like 6 times. But the mirrors not stacking in your inventory while having other stuff made me have to drop the Mourner's outfit, and towards the end I ran out of prayer and I ran out of food, so I was forced to teleport out. But because I dropped my outfit, I had to get that back first to get into the Mourner's headquarters again. But at the end I could skip the 50 items part, luckily. And that is the quest done, 60k agility XP and access to the Death Altar. But if you thought you were going to see some Guardians of the Rift action, you were gravely mistaken, unfortunately. First I went back to birdhouses to edit another video, and I also managed to get 60 Hunter finally and a Palm Seed. And this Palm Seed is actually very nice to get now, since I can actually plant them. And in total there are 3 different palm tree diary steps, and the first one is going to the RD Heart diary, since I will be needing this one before the others. And if you were wondering what the other 2 were, the Karomia Elite and Western Provinces Heart both require a palm tree. But they are both locked behind 100 combat, so that is not gonna happen anytime soon. And again, some more detours. But to do Guardians of the Rift fully efficient on Ultimate Iron Man, you kinda want to get the Divine Rune Pouch, since it saves you an inventory space, which is like 2 to 3k RC XP per hour. This room pouch is made by using the thread of Elidinis on a normal room pouch, but obtaining the thread is not the only problem. It requires level 75 crafting to make it, and I'm currently level 59 crafting. And while I do get crafting and mining XP at Guardians of the Rift, I will need the Divine Room Pouch around level 77 RC, as then I can craft blood runes and I will lose the inventory slot. But 77 RC is not getting me even close to 75 crafting, so I need to train it outside of Guardians of the Rift as well. And the best way to train crafting on UIM is by doing charters with Super Glass Mag. And now you can see why I needed the 77 magic at the start of this episode. But I still need to complete Lunar Diplomacy, which requires 60 mining and 61 crafting. So that is why I am mining at the moment, but I'm stopping at like halfway to level 59, so I will get 60 mining and 61 crafting around the same time when doing Guardians of the Rift. I did leave some reward pools in the Guardian to get my pouches back before fully setting up at Guardians of the Rift with dead banking and all that. So I'm looking to get some pearls. Oh, there we go. The pearls are for repairing the pouches, and I need to get my 3 pouches back because I'm still under level 75 RC, so I only need the large pouch for now. And that didn't really take that long. So now just sell off the runes and death bank real quick. I did decide to do all the pools I had left right now, since 15 pearls isn't going to last me that long, and I actually need to build another portal room to put a Battlefront teleport in, to get back to Hesperia after death banking there. So hopefully I can get lucky on the pearls from these pools and also buy the boots when I get back. Ended up with 256 pearls, which is enough for the boots, but it just barely so might not buy them right away. And with the GP from the runes I built the portal room and the teleport. And after dying to Hespori, I canoed to LMS to grab 1k GP, buy the runes for house teleport, and make my way over to the farming guild with the portal I just made. And once at the farming guild I grabbed my rune pouch, pearls, rune crafting pouches, my pickaxe, Ring of the Elements to sell the runes, and the Varrock armor. And now it's time to send some Geo Guardians of the Rift until I am ready to do Lunar Diplomacy and some other quests. So for Guardians of the Rift, my main goal right now is of course to get 60 mining and 61 crafting, but I also want to get to full outfit before leaving to do the quests. Since Ultimate Iron Man can store outfit pieces in the POH, but you cannot take out individual pieces unless the whole set is put in. So I'm aiming to get the full outfit before leaving this to prevent me having to do the last outfit piece without any outfit pieces. And at the moment I'm doing duos with Alice UIM, who I convinced to join me for the 99 RC grind. By the way, they do also make progress videos on maxing their Ultimate Iron Man on YouTube, so I'll put their channel in the description for you to check out. But they already have the Colossal pouch, so I'm kinda dragging them down with my large pouch setup, but at least I'm getting boosted. We can finish the game after the 3rd portal, so I can get a solid amount of points per game actually, around 6 to 7, which isn't bad for a large pouch and no combination runs. And once the game ends, I just log out for 30 seconds and hop in with like 10 seconds left, so to save me some downtime. And after doing 1 hour of Geo Guardians of the Rift, I only had to repair my pouch once, so I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna buy the boots now and loot later when I run out of those 5 pearls. But yeah, I got the boots, so that is 10% extra runes for me. And towards the end of the game, I tried to make 1 or 2 weak barriers for extra points. Creating a new barrier gives you 17 points in both elemental and catalytic. As you can see, I went from 641 and 123 to 658 and 140, basically giving me 70% extra chance on an extra point in both of the elemental and catalytic. Because it sometimes rounds up, so the 140 is basically 1 point and a 40% chance on 2 points. Yep, we got lucky here and both rounded up to 7 and 2, giving me 9 points in one game that lasted only 9 minutes. Here I even got 10 points in one game, so the 6 to 7 from earlier, that was just not true. It's probably more like 8 or 9, which is insane for a large pouch Andy. But this was the last round of the day, and I have around 190 rewards to do. And that should get me over 350 pearls, so I can buy the rope buttons hopefully after this. Got a red die, that is 50 pearls, so already over the 350 for the rope bottom, but I'm gonna finish the last like 20. Buying the rope bottoms, that is 2 out of 4 and 20% extra runes now. And now it's time to sell off the runes at Ali Morrison. And the total spoils 1.1 mil and 23k. Gonna store this in the LMS coffer and continue tomorrow. Good morning. It was time for some more Tears of Guttix again. And now that my mining and crafting are level 59, prayer is now my lowest skill. And that is actually really good to have the Tears XP go on, to slowly work on that 70 prayer for piety. But let's get back to the rift. When there is nobody online to carry me in the morning hours, I just load up the alt to carry myself. And the XP is pretty much the same, just a little bit more effort. Luckily, later some other Ultimate Iron Man showed up. Had a nice 3-man team going with Alice and Ash. And I'm about to hit 75 RC either during this game or from the XP at the end. So going to get my giant pouch quickly after this. Yep, got it during the game, 75 RC. Quickly gonna step out and loot. And them adding the pouches to the rewards here is honestly such a beast update. Otherwise I had to grab a weapon, risk my items going to the abyss and then probably kill 50 leeches for the pouch. But now after just 4 searches I already have it and I can just go straight in, didn't even slow the team down. And some more level milestones coming in. That is 61 crafting. And not long after that, 60 mining, so that is the lunar diplomacy requirements out of the way. But as I said earlier, I still want to finish the outfit before leaving this place, otherwise the POH problem with storing the items will happen and then I will have to come back to get the other outfit pieces without being able to use the boots and the skirt I have right now. And that is day 2 completed, so up to 75 RC and now it's time to loot. Hey, the Abyssal Needle coming in. Can't really use it yet, but it's nice to have already. And you can just drop this needle as an Ultimate Iron Man, because it's not like very handy to carry around. But you can use a normal needle on the Rewards Guardian to get your Abyssal Needle back once you have received it once from the rewards. So I'll just pick it up when I'm 85 RC and ready for the Colossal pouch. Didn't get anything else noteworthy during this looting session, but I got over 400 pearls, so I can buy the Head of the Eye now. That is 3 out of 4. And I'm buying the head first, even though it's more expensive than the top, but now I can still keep using my Varrock body to get a little bit more fragments. And another day, another level, that is 77 RC, so that is blood runes finally unlocked. And hopefully we can craft a lot of blood runes here. And for some reason the game thought it was fun to deprive my poor soul of blood runes for like 30 minutes. But finally the blood altar did open up at the time I was about to craft, so here are our first crafted blood runes on the account. And when looting after day 3, I got a shield left half from the pouch. And I think they are a 1 in 45, so it's actually not too rare. But that is just massive, since I needed that for the RD Heart Diary. And I didn't really know how to get it outside of Slayer, so really happy with this one. Other than that, nothing special, but I did get 350 pearls with 25 pulls left, so I bought the top to have the full outfit. But at this point I want to move away from Guardians of the Rift to complete Lunar Diplomacy and some other things. But only 25 pulls isn't enough, I think, to get my 4 pouches back when I return to Guardians of the Rift. So I'm going to first sell off the runes until a 750k cash tag, buy the shield right half, smith the shield for the diary step, And also make the catalytic tiara to use on my head for future purposes. And I even made some lava runes with the earth talisman and the fire talisman that I got for the Lumbridge medium diary step. And then I did a couple more games to have 40 pulls to get my pouches back after the questing. The first quest that I'm gonna do is actually Devious Minds. Since I still had my large pouch that was gonna drop anyway, I was like, might as well do this one now. I boosted with a Kovacs Grog to smith the bow sword thing, and then I bought all the food in the world to be sure I wouldn't wipe going into the abyss for this quest. It was a bit scary, but no issues. And on Entrana I grabbed another Draymond Staff. And that is the quest done. Pretty quick one, and some nice rune crafting XP. I got the Draymond Staff to enter Xaniris. And since I had a runecrafting outfit now, I don't need a full inventory of pure essence to complete those runecrafting tasks for the double runes. So the Lumby Heart Diary requires me to craft 56 cosmic runes. So I only need 16 essence or something to do it with a 4-piece outfit. I don't have enough space to fit all my items, but I refuse to make another trip to the farming guild to pick up these 2 items that don't really matter that much to me. So I won't be upset if I lose those, if I die. First I quickly got 60k off 70 woodcutting, so I could boost with my Dragon Axe for Grim Tales. And that is 70 woodcutting and a quest done. And now Lunar Diplomacy. An insanely boring quest, so I already got it done to save you from falling asleep. Next up is Dream Enter. I don't really need this quest right now, but I was feeling like doing it anyway. It's a short quest, but it is notorious for the semi-hard boss fight. But I didn't really think too much of it, so I went in with half an inventory of food. And only the first one can really damage you, so should be good. Okay, that was a bit too close. Luckily other ones are safe spottable. I just died. Oh my god, man. I think it just walked out of the safe spot on the tick that I was gonna attack it. Oh my god, man. I mean, I shouldn't have gone in with this amount of food anyway, but oh. Oh, there goes 10 minutes. And my Draymond Staff and 100 blue dragon scales. Oh no. Second time around, plenty of food left, so that is a success. But man, that was so not worth it. Up next is Kingdom Divided. And this is the first quest I need my ruby and diamond bolts for. So I bought Eddie Limbs and a mahogany stock from the crossbow shop in Keldegrim that I had no idea that existed before this. I thought I just had to get a rune crossbow somehow to use ruby bolts. But I wanted to use a ranged with Void for the Zemphyr boss fight. But it turned out he is immune to ruby bolts, so I would have been better off meleeing this guy, I think. But oh well. Also, this quest is really boring, so it's suddenly over. To get my Divine Rune Pouch, I need to do TOA. And TOA is locked behind the quest Beneath Cursed Sands. Since the Scarab Man in the middle of the quest is just unkillable without ruby bolts with my range level. I was pretty nervous about this one, but after 2 ruby bolt specs and 6 minutes of running around, it finally died. So I thought, nice, that is pretty much just the quest done, as this was the harder boss fight for me. So I went into the final boss pretty casually, since you are supposed to use melee on this one, and my melee stats are much better than my ranged, and I never had any issues with this boss on any of my accounts. And this boss has 2 mechanics. It can summon a shadow, which you can kill to mitigate damage taken, and a lightning bolt attack that hits really hard. So hard in fact, that it killed me not even 20 seconds into the fight. I just kinda brushed it off as a tactical death pile to bring more food and joked about it in the Ultimate Iron Man Discord. But before I embarrass myself further, I will say that it was really hot that day, and it was maybe affecting my PVM abilities a little bit. Somehow I couldn't kill the shadow that was like 1 HP for 6 hits. And reading the wiki for mechanics is for losers, so I took a 55 to the dome from the darkness. And that made me panic a little bit. And then I got kept once more by the lightning, dying for the second time within 30 seconds of the boss fight. And I bought a Dragon Dagger for the Shadow for 60k from Rosolo. And every time I died I had to buy back the Lunar Staff for 60k as well from Perdu. So yeah, this is costing quite a bit already. 3rd time's the charm, right? Don't worry, I didn't actually smash my keyboard, but I was not happy with this. So, to prevent me from dying 7 times to a boss that someone else has done in the past, I decided to call it a day, get some sleep and try again in the morning. And for this attempt I was also trying to flick the shadow, which is actually pretty easy since they're both on 4-tick cycle, so yeah, it's not very hard. Should have done this a lot earlier. But this time the boss actually died, and it was not me falling face to the floor. And on this final attempt it was a lot cooler in my room since it was in the early morning. So I think it is safe to say that it was definitely the heat causing the dysfunction in the PVM abilities. Those 3 deaths cost me around 40 minutes of in-game time, so yeah, that is not pretty. But at least I completed the quest finally. And from this quest you get the Keris Partisan, and that is pretty good for call fights, so I decided to do the call fight queen kill now for the diary. And I just flinched it and it was not very eventful, and I got some mithril arrows which are useless. And after all that, I could finally train my crafting up to level 71. I'm going for 71 here since I can +4 boost with the mushroom pie. Since crafting is pretty slow and it's more efficient to do it with other skills anyway, so I want to minimize my time actually standing here and crafting. But yeah, it was pretty chill, kind of boring though, but that is 71. And then I made a Dixhat pendant and started doing the Sulisep mushrooms for the Sulisep cap for the pie. And they are a 1 in 100, but actually they are a 1 in 140. Since there are 2 different drop tables, and it's a little bit weird, if you roll the first one with the Nummulite on it, you cannot roll one of the mushroom ones anymore. So it is a 1 in 140 per XP drop. But believe it or not, it took me over 1 hour and like 105k woodcutting XP to get my first mushroom cap, which is I think 6 times the drop rate that you're supposed to get it. So that was a little bit crazy. But still, that was definitely the best place to go 6 times the drop rate for something. Because I was still getting XP for it, and it wasn't even like 6 times the drop rate in only 1.5 hours isn't that bad. So actually lucky getting unlucky here. Hopefully my luck at TOA is a little bit better. And to get this strat I had a friend help me doing a entry mode TOA at 50 invocation. Because the threat is just a 1 in 10 drop from the chest if you have enough contribution points. And to get those points, we came up with a strategy to minimize the in-game time. So I soloed the Zebek puzzle, helped with the Kefri puzzle, and also did most of the work at the Aka puzzle. And that gave me enough points to be eligible for a roll. No idea what it does, but I got something. Alright, please, 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 please. Oh. I got it! I got the thread! No way, dudes! Oh my god! Oh. Dude. Oh, that's so good. Thank you so much, Beast. Holy. I'll log out quickly. That's insane. Oh, yes. And with that, we finish up the episode. Let's take a look at the skills. At the start of the episode, we had these stats, and we finished up with these ones, and here's the difference between them. And most of the HP gained is from Runecraft, and we actually lost 3 hours compared to last one in terms of HP versus playtime, but that is probably because of the questing and me dying sometimes. But we did manage to get the full Runecraft outfit and the Elidinis thread for the rune pouch. So next one is gonna be a very big one, and I'm looking to do a lot of Runecraft and hopefully make up all the hours that I have lost so far. But alright, that was it. Hope you guys have a wonderful week, and I'll see you guys in the next one.